For nearly 5 years, the USS George Washington has been here at the Newport News shipyard. Its refueling and overhaul process delayed multiple times. But the ship needs fixing in more ways than one. Current and former crew members who spoke with CNN say the nuclear-powered aircraft carrier was never ready for sailors, and the environment on board was unlivable. These images from the ship, provided to CNN, show the conditions on board. In these videos, a broken washing machine flooded nearby compartments, a bathroom in disrepair. CNN was unable to board the ship to see these conditions firsthand, but sailors say this was the norm. One sailor who wanted to remain anonymous told us about power outages, no hot water, unbearable temperatures, and the food.
They just run out of food. And if they had anything left, it would be, if you're lucky, a little cereal thing or like one little chicken leg that may or may not be undercooked.
What happened when you tried to flag some of these issues to your superiors or when others tried to flag them?
Absolutely nothing.
On Facebook, former sailor Jacob Grella said he was so freaking happy when he found out he was assigned to the carrier, not far from his home in Richmond. But soon, he says, weekend trips home became an escape from the carrier. With a year left on the ship, he tried to make an appointment with the ship's psychologist, only to find out it was a 6-month wait.
I tried to tell my leadership that this could be a reason why these deaths are occurring.
And what did they say?
I was met with the same negative feedback.
In the past 12 months, the Navy says 7 sailors on the USS George Washington have died, at least 4 by suicide. Sailors say the Navy brought in mental health resources after 3 of those suicides occurred in 1 week in April. One of those sailors who died by suicide was Xavier Sander, who was just a year out of high school. His father says he will always be the family hero.
He loved his job. He did his 12-hour shifts. And how do you sleep on a aircraft carrier with jackhammering and smoke and smells during the day? So he would sleep in his car. It's just awful. No sailor should have even been living on that ship in those conditions.
The Master Chief Petty Officer of the Navy, the branch's top enlisted leader, came here to the shipyard a couple weeks ago to speak with the sailors on board. In a statement afterwards, he said it was so he could better understand the difficulties and the challenges of the crew on board. But to sailors who spoke with CNN, the underlying message was, get used to it. It could be worse. One sailor called the visit laughable and offensive. The Navy surged more mental health resources to the ship following the suicides, including a special intervention team and an additional psychologist. An investigation into the suicides is expected to be completed this week. Another investigation into command climate and culture will take more time. The commander of U.S. Naval Air Force Atlantic says they'll look at the quality of life issues, including housing. The Navy began moving about half of the 400 or so sailors living on the ship to different accommodations, promising that those who want another place to live will get it. A former George Washington sailor who left the Navy after his time on the ship called it willful neglect.
And that's something that's unacceptable, especially with a country with a military, the budget it has, and the support it's supposed to have behind it. This isn't Afghanistan where you're expecting those circumstances. This is Newport News, Virginia.